but just to keep it orderly, and please limit your questions to like 30 seconds or so. So George Kasimis is our last speaker. George is a real estate broker from Toms River. And after Superstorm Sandy, George started a group called Stop FEMA Now. And George and I have been communicating for about 4 or 5 weeks now. And tonight is the first time I've met him, and I can tell you he's a wealth of information. And we're going to let him speak, and then after George speaks, start lining up in this aisle, please, if you would like to speak. Okay? Thank you. George, please.
How you doing? My home got damaged after Superstorm Sandy. About 3 months after Sandy, my neighbor comes, senior citizen, he comes next to me, he says, George, we gotta raise our home or our flood insurance is going to $30,000 a year. This is no joke, folks. This is no joke. I was like you, I started asking questions. This can't be real. It is real. Like the gentleman from FEMA said, there was a bill that got passed in Congress, and I believe somebody from Senator Menendez's office is here today. Senator Menendez actually sponsored a bill. It's called the Homeowners Flood Insurance Affordability Act. If you didn't hear about it, you should actually read it. And if you didn't thank him, you should thank him. He stopped our rates from going to the actuary rate. Your question in this room is, and I think that one gentleman here hit on it, will it go up 15% a year annually? Your rates are going to increase until you reach the actuary rates. You need to find out what your actuary rate is. For example, FEMA requires you to be at this rate. If your home is up here, you're okay. If it's above the BFE. If it is at or below the BFE, and the more below the BFE you're going to be, you can get up to $64,000 a year. We have one of our members, we have members across the country, one of our members has a $64,000 a year flood insurance policy. This is not a joke. Your first question when you leave, when you wake up tomorrow at 9 a.m., call your flood insurance agent. Don't say what my flood insurance bill is going to be next year. What is my actuary rate going to be? If you're a primary homeowner, the way the Home Flood Insurance Affordability Act is written, your premiums will rise up to 18%, 15% average in a community. If you're a commercial property owner, a second homeowner, a repetitive loss property, or like me, a substantially damaged homeowner, you will receive a max 25% increase compounded annually with a $250 surcharge. I started this group because 10,000 homes in my community were put in a velocity zone. And as I started researching this, and you guys are level 1 of grieving, this is a national issue. And as I opened up a Facebook page and a little website to gain some information, folks were coming not only from New Jersey and New York, from across the country, and saying, we're having the same problem. You're not alone. There's 22,000 communities, 5.5 million people who have a very good chance of losing their homes.
I'm one of them.
I've spoken to groups from Atlantic City to Massapequa, New York, and as far west as Lycoming County. We're going to hit the rest of the country. And collectively, on the back of the sheet that Diane gave you, it is very, very important not only to send that to Senator Menendez, to send it to every senator and congressman, not only in New Jersey, but across the country. I'm telling you, this is going to take work. It is a lot of work. There's folks in Congress that are saying, we are welfare recipients, we are subsidized. I'm here to tell you that is incorrect. FEMA is $24 billion in the hole. That's why we're going to start seeing these exorbitant rise in flood insurance premiums. $24 billion. Do you know why they're $24 billion in the hole? Only 44% of our premiums actually goes to paying our claims. 56% goes to administer our flood insurance program. We are subsidizing FEMA. Okay? The more you give the FEMA monster, the more they're going to want. This is not going to end. Here's what's just happened recently. Let me take a step back. In 2017, the National Flood Insurance Program needs to get reauthorized every 5 years. 2017 will be when it needs to get reauthorized. That is the next big fight. Please remember these 3 words. Stop FEMA now. If you want information, if you want to discuss things, we have a New Jersey group and a national page. Feel free to come on. Diane, a bunch of folks from Pennsville are on. You have questions? Ask those questions there. We'll answer them for you. We have a bunch of folks. But I do strongly suggest talking to the gentleman from SmartVent and your floodplain manager, okay, and your insurance agent. There are a lot of mistakes, okay? And if there's a mistake, it'll be a $3,000 to $1,100 difference. That is a big difference. But what you need to understand, your biggest question is, what is my actuary rate? What is my flood insurance going to end up eventually? Got to know that number, okay? Here's the 2 things that you need to understand that are recent. In the Bigger Waters Act, which got passed in 2012, this is what's giving us the headaches. It's called the Bigger Waters Act of 2012. There is a mandate in the Bigger Waters Act called the TMAC, Technical Mapping Advisory Council. And basically their mandate is to take into consideration sea level rise. Our current maps do not take into consideration a 2, 3, 4, or 6 foot additional elevation that you're required on our flood maps. If that happens, and you're currently at the elevation, and they add 2, 3, or 6 feet on the maps, you're going to be significantly less on the maps. And lastly, on January 30th, President Obama issued an executive order basically to take sea level rise into account with all federal agencies, including FEMA. I apologize, I don't have good news. I can't give you the bomb, but I'm here to tell you that this is real. We've been in Congress. We helped push the Homeowners Flood Insurance Affordability Act. Senator Menendez is key in this. He is one of the senior members in Congress, and he understands the issues, okay? The more we support him, the more he will support us, okay? And we need to make some phone calls. Please join us at StopFEMANow.com, on Facebook Stop FEMA Now, on Twitter Stop FEMA Now, and thank you again, folks. I love seeing people come out. This is great, and do me a favor, call your friends. You see something, forward them the email, forward them a link on something. This is important. We need to get people out there. We need to reach 5.5 million people. Together we can make a change. Thank you, guys.
Well, I don't see anybody in this aisle, so I guess there's no questions.